Welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian.
And I'm Kathy.
All right, now there is breaking vlogger news going on. Kathy and I were on YouTube. We were watching some vlogs this morning, and on our YouTube recommendations, a thumbnail came up of Molly, and it looked a little different. It was a little strange. It was Molly just talking in front of a wall at home was the thumbnail. And then I looked at the title, and it wasn't allears.net. It had a different name, Mammoth Club. We're like, what's going on here?
It was like, this is what's happening, like breaking news.
Yeah, and I thought, did allears.net change their channel name? What's going on? And we clicked on the video, and Molly from allears.net has quit allears.net and started her own channel with a couple other people. So we got to talk about it. And I got to tell you, out of all of the Disney vloggers, Molly is probably the most universally liked among everyone. I would agree with that. Yeah. I haven't heard anyone ever be critical of Molly. No. Everyone loves Molly. And
that's true.
You know, I have known, and I think it's been no secret, that she was not the owner of allears.net.
See, I wasn't sure.
I knew that.
How did you know that? Because I wasn't 100% sure on that.
I had read some things on Twitter a long time ago, and Molly has left, and she has a new channel. It's called Mammoth Club, and she has two people with her. One is Max, who was on allears.net, who is very funny, and Allan, who I have seen before, I'm assuming on allears.net, who I'm guessing is Molly's husband.
I think because they bicker like they're a couple, and they did some things on Instagram where they were at home cooking stuff together, like the Trackers.
Well, they're home together and they wear wedding bands.
I guess they want to be the new Trackers.
Okay. Well, let's get into this a little bit because to me, this is incredibly shocking news. Okay. Now, I want to say this first to allears.net. I don't know who is behind allears.net and who owns it, but what they did was very, very stupid because obviously allears.net has a big crew of people, and some of them over there are interesting and funny.
They are.
But the star of allears.net has always been Molly, and everyone else has been a supporting character. And allears.net, this is what I'm guessing. I'm guessing Molly realized that she's very famous. She's probably one of the most famous, if not the most famous vlogger that vlogs the theme parks. I would put her up there in her fame level with Tim Tracker. I think she's...
Yeah, well, they have 270,000 subs, and that is a great deal to do with Molly. Probably most of it. And
they also have, and Molly does too, like a huge Instagram and all of that too. So it goes beyond just YouTube.
Yes.
So,
yes. They've built their entire brand around her.
That's right.
She is the face. It's like when David Lee Roth left Van Halen. It's kind of the same thing. It's like just not the same.
When David Lee Roth left Van Halen, I didn't listen to Van Halen for like 20 years. I refused.
I still don't. Only the old stuff.
Now, this thing with Molly, though, leaving allears.net, this is shocking. And obviously, I would guess what Molly realized is, you know, she's the face of the channel. She's very popular. I don't even know how she vlogs because she's so famous. People are always coming up to her.
It's like when a lead singer leads a group. They figure I could just go out on my own and stop splitting the money 4 ways.
That's right. You know, she's looking to make – and that's fine. She should do that. But
they've hired other people too.
Here's where allears.net screwed up, okay? If I were allears.net – this is where greed factors in with people. If I were allears.net – I would not have wanted Molly to leave and start her own channel.
No.
Which, by the way, Molly's thumbnails look almost exactly like the allears.net thumbnails, which is fine. I love Molly. I think Molly's awesome. I want Molly to be the number one subbed vlogger.
She's awesome.
In theme parks. She's very cool. I've never met her. She's one of the few I haven't met, but she's very cool. But if I were allears.net, I would have done everything I could to keep her from leaving and would have offered her a percentage of the channel ownership. That I would have done that to keep her. I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty crazy.
She was upset. She did her video. She was in tears a little bit. She said she cried for a week. It was not an easy decision, but I think we all saw this coming. I mean, I remember we talked about it. And I said, if she doesn't own allears.net, because I wasn't sure, I said she will leave and go on her own eventually, because that's usually what happens. She's the face of allears.net. I like the other people on there. They're very good. But about a year or so ago, they started bringing in a bunch of new people and changing a lot of what they do. And maybe that change she did not like. Maybe they started making very different, like doing games, and they started changing how they did their videos. And maybe she didn't like that change they made. Maybe she didn't agree with it. And maybe it took away from what she thought the vision should be. And so maybe there was a disagreement. Well, I mean, it's possible.
This is the thing, okay? Molly and allears.net, huge number of views, huge number of subscribers. Huge. And what Molly said, go to Molly's new channel. It's Mammoth Club, if you've not seen it already. And she has a video where she talks about the channel change a little bit, about the new channel, just a little bit. She doesn't give it too much detail. But one thing she does say is that allears.net, even though she won't say the name, she says the brand she was with before, she wouldn't say allears.net.
No, she would not, which I thought was strange.
Yeah, but she said that was her full-time job. So she was making a salary. What that salary was, we don't know.
She did. She made a lot of videos.
But there is a lot of money in vlogging the theme parks if you have a large number of views. So whatever they were paying her, I guess she figures she could make more this way. I'm sure there might have been some ego things. Now, before we get into Molly's new channel, I went back and watched some of the recent allears.net videos to see how they're faring without her, okay? And the thing is, Molly had said there will be new videos that have not been dropped yet by All Ears that will come out with her in them because she filmed a lot of content that's not been released yet.
Right.
And the two main people that they're using now are Quincy, she's the redheaded girl who's very funny, and Breedlove, who's a guy, and he's very funny too. But the problem is, and I like them both, okay? Breedlove, that's like his name. Breed, love, Breedlove.
Okay.
He's very funny.
He's good.
And
that's
Quincy,
unusual. The
redheaded girl, she's very funny too, but neither of them are like the lead singer.
For now.
They're not, well, no. They're using them. Quincy is the new front man for the
but she
All Ears.
could become as big as Molly.
They're not as good. Some people are supporting cast, and some people are the star. And
give her a chance.
And I think Molly's the star. The other, Quincy is very funny, and Breedlove is very, very funny too. They are both hilarious, but I think they're better as sidekicks as opposed to the front of the house.
I disagree with you on that. I think they're very good, and I think if you give them a chance, they will shine. And this was a risk for Molly too, and it might not be a good risk. She had it's kind of like if, I think AJ owns Disney Food Blog, but let's say she doesn't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know about AJ with Disney
If she left Disney Food Blog, they have like 500,000 subs. She is the voice of that channel, not the face, the voice. Everybody recognizes AJ's voice.
Look them up, Disney Food Blog. See how many subscribers they have now. If she left and did her own
thing, that's a risk too, because you're going on your own. You don't have that brand anymore. And I'm going to say a few. I'll look it up in a minute. I'm going to say a few things I don't like about Molly's channel. Okay?
The new channel,
the new
Mammoth
channel,
Club.
Okay, I hate the name of their.
Yeah, Mammoth Club.
It's awful, bad. And I know it's a play on their names, Molly, Allan, and Max.
Yeah,
and
I don't like the name.
I don't like the name.
You know what name I would have done? Molly Does Disney.
I think it should have been focused on Molly. Molly should be in the title because she is extremly well known in the Disney community.
Very famous.
And
she's a household name.
I thought it was a paleontology channel. Sorry, I'm really tired today. A paleontology channel. When I saw it, I'm like, Mammoth. Yeah. I don't get it. It has nothing to. It's a play on their names, but has nothing to do with their content at all. And I think the name should have something to do with your content.
I thought at least it would have something to do with Animal Kingdom, like there's a mammoth there or something.
There's
not. But the channel name's no good.
It's awful.
They need to change the channel name.
I don't think they will. They're a company now.
They can change the name.
Company.
You can change the name.
Well, it sucks.
And the other thing I'll say is this, okay? And this may not sound nice.
And we agree on these two.
And I'm sorry, points. Molly, because I'm a big fan of Molly. Max is very, very funny and talented. I like Max a lot.
He needs to be used more.
However, Allan is awful on camera. He's not likable on camera, and this is
a pet peeve of Brian's.
I don't like vloggers when they eat, even though they're at the food festival and they have food on their face. And I saw a little bit of messy eating from Allan.
Yeah, that drives Brian nuts.
And here's another thing. Okay, I just tell you something about this. Okay, I don't know a little. This show here, Kathy and I do together, and we're married. And I do other things without Kathy. Other shows I do without Kathy.
That's true.
But things between husbands and wives don't play that husbands and wives don't necessarily play well publicly. I tell you two things I'm talking about. One is this little marital bickering. People don't like to hear that.
They think it's funny or cute. It's like a shtick.
It's funny to them.
They're doing it, and I don't like it. It makes him look like a jerk.
And here's another thing too.
And I'm sure he's not. It just makes him look
here's
like
another thing too. And I've seen this happen with a lot of guys that I know that are I'm a broadcaster, professional broadcaster, and my friends and colleagues are professional broadcasters. Not this show, but I do other stuff. And one thing I find with a lot of new people to broadcasting, they think they're very, very funny because their wife and kids think they're funny. They're funny at home with the wife and the kids, but they're not funny doing it professionally. So I'm sure Allan is a nice guy. I have seen he seems familiar to me, so I think I might have seen him before. But this chemistry with him and Molly at the Food and Wine Festival on New Channel, it's not.
I didn't like
working
it
at all, and it's not funny.
They're doing this thing where and I've never seen a married couple who vlogs do this. We watch a WDW Couple, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Oh yes,
the Trackers. I've never seen this bickering, whether it's fake, like they're trying to be funny, or if it's genuine. I've never seen it. Maybe once in a while, but they did it a lot. And it made him look like a jerk.
And we watched two of their vlogs.
And they would argue about something petty and then make faces at each other like whatever. And then he said a comment, well, you leave glasses all over the house. I don't need to hear him talking to her that way. Well, I don't need to hear their marital bickering and problems.
What had happened?
I don't like it.
What had happened was
that bothers me.
Is they were at there's a vlog on the new channel, Mammoth Club, which is, by the way, we love Molly. We
love Molly,
and I am so excited for Molly because for years, allears.net has been raking in buku bucks off of Molly.
No, I agree with you. They should have done whatever they could to keep her.
And Molly deserves all the money off the YouTube channel she can make because she is awesome. And I'll tell you a thing about Molly.
No, I agree with you on that.
I want to say a complimentary thing before I say something negative about her. I think her husband, okay? Molly is one of the few vloggers that everything that comes out of her mouth is a useful tip when you're at the park.
I think there's a picture
which is
of her.
Amazing.
I'm looking at pictures of her because I Googled. There's a picture of her wearing a Disney.
She used to work for Guest Experience, I believe.
Yeah, that's it. So she knows. This is a picture of her with her Disney uniform on. And she's she's got a really nice uniform. She worked for Disney. She knows her stuff.
And
she is chock full of information.
And she's professional.
Yeah, she's very good.
And polished in a way that doesn't seem polished. It seems natural. Her husband
is taking away from that experience for me.
I would drop the husband as on the vlog talking. And what, let me tell you what had happened. And this is kind of aggravated me, okay? This kind of aggravated me. This is at the Food and Wine Festival vlog for Mammoth Club, Molly's new channel. That I want Molly's channel, Mammoth Club,
the name is awful.
Be the number one Disney theme park vlog, okay? Because I think her vlogs are what vlogging's all about.
No, she's great. We want her to succeed.
But they went into a store and they were looking over the merch, and Molly was looking at one of the cups, and Allan, who we think is her husband, let us know in the comments.
I'm pretty sure.
He was talking about, well, she leaves it's another cup for her to leave around. Then they had this little bickering thing about her leaving cups around the house.
And she made a face and she wasn't I don't know, I'm like, why didn't she edit this out? This is not cute.
Exactly. And here's the thing with Molly, okay? Like I say, she's polished in a way that doesn't seem polished because she's very natural on her vlogging. Every utterance from her is a useful tip.
No, she's
in
very
the parks.
She has a lot of authority.
Okay,
for sure.
And what that does when he comes in with the sauce over his face, eating like
that really freaks Brian out.
When he makes this joke about the she's a messy person at home and everything, it takes away from her status.
I agree.
And it takes away from her authority as a tip giver in the vlogs. I don't know if that makes sense to people, but I don't. I think it demeans her.
I feel it's demeaning.
Yeah,
I feel it's demeaning.
It takes away from her professionalism.
Like and if they think it's cute, if they're gonna be that way, and if he's gonna be that way, they need to edit that out of the videos. My personal opinion, Molly,
leave him at home.
All married couples bicker. Brian and I have been married almost 26 years, okay? We've had our moments. All married couples bicker and fight and have things that aggravate each other, okay? We get it. But I've never seen the trackers bicker at the part. Maybe in their home vlogs, which I don't really watch too many. Or live streams. Yeah, a little bit in the live streams. Jen gets a little bossy. And Tim is definitely like acquiesces to her most of the time. But in the parks, I don't know, it just seemed a little mean-spirited. Maybe it wasn't meant that way. I'm not going to go as far as Brian and say leave Allan home, but I will say the tone needs to change. You need to let Molly take the lead. She needs to be on camera like 85% of the time, and then you pop in once in a while briefly. She is the star. I don't like the name at all.
I'll give you an example. I'll give you another example.
The channel. I'm sorry.
I'll give you another example. Okay?
I mean, Mammoth. I don't get it
with Allan. Okay, here's another example.
Oh boy, really
with
ripping on Allan today.
And the food and wine vlog is by the way very good because every vlog Molly does is very good
because of
right?
Molly.
Okay, they had some wine. They were sipping. They had like the wine, one of the wine flights, one of the drink flights, and Allan is trying to be funny with the cup, like twirling it around in a funny way, taking sips in a funny way. He's not funny. Breedlove over on alleears.net, he's funny. Max is like, I don't know what Max does, but he's like a professional comedian. He may not be, but I mean, he's good as he could be a professional comedian if he's not. Allan is funny at home to his wife.
Maybe.
Okay, he's not funny, maybe, not on the vlog.
No, he's trying to be funny.
I don't mean to be cruel, and I don't want to hurt Allan's feelings.
Don't try to be funny, Allan. It's not working, at least not for us.
Yeah.
Just be the straight man. Let Molly be the star.
Sit at home and count the money that Molly makes you on Google AdSense.
I don't mind him in the vlog. I don't mind.
Take your YouTube money.
I don't mind Allan on the vlogs.
Yeah.
But
he shouldn't talk.
What's happening so far now? They've only done like 4 videos. Okay, so maybe it'll change. But I don't like their dynamic together on the vlogs. I'm not saying they have a bad marriage. I don't know anything about them. I've never met them. But so far, the dynamic on the vlog is not working for me. Tell us what you think. Obviously, you have your own opinion. You might totally disagree with us. That's fine. We're really not trying to be mean. We're just giving you our honest opinion on this.
We want to help Molly.
And I hate the name. So tell us what you think of the name. I don't get it. It has nothing to do with Disney or theme parks or anything. It's like they're archaeologists. Awful. I don't get it.
I don't like it at all.
I
like Molly does Disney. Maybe that's too suggestive, but I like Molly's name in a title.
I think Molly's name should be in the title. I don't know about Molly does Disney, but I think her name should be in the title, or the title to me should have, like you have Tim Tracker. That really doesn't indicate it's Disney, but his name is in the title. He's the star. And I think something like that would work better for me.
Listen, titles aren't as important as you think. You make a good point.
It's branding. It's their branding, though. It is important.
But Mammoth Club just is strange to me. I get where they get it, but I'm excited. I hope that Molly becomes very successful and hits 100,000 subs soon.
And her vlogs are very long.
Can you look and see how many subs? I don't have a computer in front of me. How many subs Molly has on her new channel and the Disney food vlog? How many they have?
Okay, Molly has about 47,000.
I think that's what I saw on Mammoth Club, which is her new channel.
So that's pretty good.
And it's only a week.
Yeah,
it's a weekend.
Good. Very good. Well, she has a lot of fans. Disney food blog 840,000. Well, they're almost caught up to the trackers.
840,000.
They're going to surpass the trackers.
Okay, and
when we started watching them, they were like at 200,000.
Mm-hmm.
or somewhere.
Yeah.
They've really, maybe 100. They've really taken
Mammoth Club, it's 2 words. That is Molly's new channel. And I want her to be very successful. We subscribed.
We want, definitely subscribe.
Immediately.
But
I thought it was like a second channel she was doing.
But I think she needs to, and they'll work it out. But
well, and I'll tell you something about, and we may be reading too much into this, okay? But for the past several months, I don't know what led up to Molly going out on her own. I mean, as far as if she went out because she figures, I should be making the money, not somebody else.
I think that's part of it.
I would support that. I mean, she deserves it. She's very, very good. But over the past 6 months or so, I've told Kathy many times, I said, Molly just seems, something going on with Molly. She seems a little off.
She was changing her hair. Okay, when a woman changes her hair, that means it signifies making a big change in her life.
That's a big deal with the ladies.
And I noticed she was dyeing her hair different colors and this and that. And I said, something is going on with Molly. She's getting ready for a change, or she's made a big change.
Well, I told Kathy.
This was on her mind,
I told Kathy because I noticed Molly with the hair, there was like different weird hair colors, and her personality was a little different. And I said to Kathy, maybe she got divorced. So I went back and looked at some, I looked at the vlog, and she had a wedding ring on still.
Right.
So, okay, she's not divorced. But I knew something going on. And now I don't know if and now she's back to her normal hair.
Right. So I think there's definitely.
When women change their hair, usually it means they're leaving their husband or they left their husband.
Sometimes.
But
it's a change.
Not in this case, obviously. But obviously there was a major change. So I'm very excited for that. And let's wish the best for Molly. And we'll continue to follow and update you guys on her new channel, which is Mammoth Club. 2 words,
Hopefully
Molly's new channel.
Hopefully she'll change it before it's too late.
And I also want to monitor allears.net to see how they do. Allears.net in the past, we've talked a lot on.
That's a great name, by the way. That's a great name, allears.net.
We've talked a lot on the show here on the podcast over the last year, but in particular in the last few months, that a lot of the vloggers are making a lot of changes because it seems views are down for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And allears.net, the last 6 months to a year, they've been doing very unusual things. They do a lot of games, like you were talking about.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that bothered
things.
her.
And I was wondering then, were they doing these strange new things to try to get more views?
I
views
didn't
were
like
down.
it. I didn't like it.
There were. You're right. There's too many people on the channel.
There's too many people. And I think there's maybe there were some creative differences.
Ego.
And maybe Molly felt like her voice was being pushed out. I think maybe she felt this was the time.
Yeah.
Because she mentioned she has now complete creative control. So I think the channel shifted to this new direction for a while. They brought in new people. And I think that had a lot to do with her leaving.
I hope on All Ears.
I don't think it's just about money.
I hope on All Ears they keep Quincy and Breedlove as the main 2 on the channel because
I think they'll do well.
They're both very good and very funny, and I like them both. Okay, yeah. And Breedlove is hilarious.
No, I think they'll do well.
Hilarious.
And I'm going to give them a chance. I think they'll do well. So the next thing we wanted to talk about was the WDW Couple, which we don't really talk about too much. Taylor and Josh.
I don't think we've talked about them on the program
not at length
at all. But you pull up their channel, Kathy, because I was going to pull this up on my iPhone, but I have it charging in the other room and I can't reach it right now. But would the
we've been watching them for about 4 years.
Yeah, so the WDW Couple. Well. I've been watching them longer than that. I started watching the WDW Couple when they had like less than 2,000 subs.
Oh yeah, we've been watching them from almost the beginning.
So I've been with them for a long time.
And you've met Josh.
I've met Josh. I've not met Taylor, the wife, but Josh is a very nice guy. In fact, I went to take a picture with Josh at Epcot, and he said, "Oh, let's move over here so the sun doesn't mess up the picture because we had the sun on it." And he's a very nice guy, and I like them, and I like their channel. And the WDW Couple, there's been some major changes in their channel. And like many of the Disney vloggers, their views are significantly down from what they used to be.
Yes.
Now,
way down.
Now, again, I've been watching them since they had like 1,200 subs, okay? And
for the number of subs they have, they should be getting a lot more views. They have
well, if you look at their recent videos,
65,000 almost
subs.
They should be easily getting 6,000 to 10,000. You figure it's about 10%, 6,000 to 10,000 per video minimum, and they're barely breaking 2,000. Well, after a while, couple thousand, 1,500. They're definitely when we first started watching them, when they were around the 30,000 too, when they got up to 30,000, they were easily getting 5,000, 6,000 pretty early within the first week.
Oh yeah, and
they were doing really
and
well.
Now look over their videos for the last 2 weeks, Kathy. Now they've just been in Euro. I still call it Euro Disney, guys.
They were in Paris.
I know it's Disneyland Paris, but I call it Euro Disney still,
which is awesome.
They had a video yesterday at Disneyland Paris and 1,700 views, which is very low for them. But if you go back in time, 2 weeks, they were at Adventures Campus in Paris, 3,800 views.
It's low for them. It's not horrible, but I think it's low for them.
Yeah, and if you go through, they're getting less than 2,000 views, sometimes even fewer than 1,000.
Overall, their average is much less than it used to be.
And the thing about WDW Couple, because actually they were going to be the main topic of the program. And what had happened today, because we were watching,
they got bumped.
Yeah,
they got bumped. They
were going to be our thumbnail and everything. But what happened is I watched one of their vlogs at Disneyland Paris, and I was like, something happened, which we're going to talk about. And I told Kathy, we got to talk about this. And before we did it, we said, well, you know what? Let's go back. Let's watch some of their most recent vlogs for the past few months. And we did that. And that's when the Molly recommendation came up with Mammoth Club. So we changed the thumbnail and title of the show. Sorry, they got WDW got bumped for Molly. But I have a theory which I think is spot on the money as to why the WDW couple's views are way, way down. And before we did the show, we went back and watched videos from 4 years ago of theirs to see if we were right in our recollection or if our recollection was just clouded.
Which is when we started really watching them about 4 or 5 years ago.
There's been a humongous change. And let me tell you, like with Molly, with the husband, okay, with Allan, if I think he's the husband, with Allan, please take this as constructive criticism. These are people we like. I like the WDW couple, okay? If I got a problem with one of the vloggers, I'll tell you. I like the WDW couple. I really do. But their vlogs have gotten lazy, okay? And in a couple of ways. Josh and Taylor are the WDW couple. And if you go back in time 4 years ago, okay, 3 to 4 years ago, prior to COVID period, Josh's vlogs were cinematic masterpieces of Disney vlogging.
It was like something off the Travel Channel.
Yeah, and
he was known for that.
When I met him at the park, he didn't have all his gear with him, but I have seen back in that period, I've seen Josh from the WDW couple with his equipment. I don't know how security lets him in the park. He had this Steadicam thing that was huge. I mean, I'd be embarrassed to walk around with this.
He had a huge
He looked like he was working for Disney, actually.
Yeah, it was like definitely professional setup.
And he had a Steadicam that had zero motion. He had very cinematic Spielberg, I'm not exaggerating, like 4 years ago, views and takes on everything. And their vlogs.
And that huge microphone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like he basically had a boom microphone.
Yeah,
and he had
it was like a
Steadicam.
professional deal.
And the vlogs they're doing now, they're bouncing all over the place. It's like watching the Blair Witch Project. I
couldn't even watch it.
It
makes you seasick.
They don't look like they're in 4K. They have no cinematography to them. Like
there's very little production.
Zero, I would say, production.
There's no B-roll, and this is the deal. That's okay. I mean, we don't get into. We used to do a lot more production on our vlogs too, but not to their level at all. But after a while, you stop doing as much, and I totally get that. But they set the bar so high for themselves and their viewers with his production. I mean, you could watch their videos and be like, this guy spent like 4 hours on this. They were so good, and they set the bar so high. We were just wondering if now their videos now are so like, they look like they were put together in 20 seconds. Like maybe viewers are like, this is just not as good.
It doesn't look like he's got the steady cam anymore.
No, they're not as good as they used to be.
And there's no direction. It looks like, and we watched several vlogs of at the parks. Okay, not just
Disneyland,
not just Paris, not just Paris, but we watched some vlogs here at Walt Disney World Orlando that are recent. And then we went back and watched some of their vlogs from 4 years ago and compared before we did the show, because we wanted to make sure. I didn't want to come on here and say this about them.
Difference.
But, the vlogs now are like, okay, we're at Magic Kingdom. It's rope drop. Oh, okay. Let's see what the wait time is for Space Mountain. Before, and then they do it. Before, if they went to Space Mountain, Josh would do this whole cinematic tour, which was beautiful,
of B-roll, of with everything, music, and it was amazing.
And they just don't do that now. It's like, okay, we're here. What can we get on the vlog? And I think a couple things have happened.
Yeah.
Okay, and please, if the WDW couple are listening to this, please take this as constructive criticism.
Yeah, because we do love you guys. We do love you guys.
There are vloggers I don't like. And when we don't like a vlogger, Kathy and I, we talk about it here on the show. Yeah, so we like you guys, and we love Molly and everything, even though we want her to drop her husband from the vlogs. We still love.
Well, you said that, not me. I don't think
this is
just 10% on camera.
This is what I think has happened to the WDW couple. I think two things have happened, and this is something that can happen to people when they get popular. And and I've seen this happen to people many times. They have gotten lazy. They think they've covered it all, but they also think that they're famous, and they should think they're famous because every time they go to the park, someone comes up to them like I did and say, "Hey, can I take a picture?"
Right.
So they think that the vlogs are more about that people want to see their journey at the park more than get tips. And when they first started vlogging, what they did, it seemed rather clever to me, because what they did in the beginning, almost everything was a restaurant or food review, and they were very high-end, top videography, cinematography. Look, I thought Josh went to film school. I told Kathy this. I said, this guy must have gone to film school. He's like Casey Neistat. I'm serious. He would film like Casey. Beautiful stuff. He would go to the...
he created like a beautiful picture
that Disney would put on Disney Plus.
Experience.
He would I give you an example. Go watch their vlog from 2-3 years ago to the Skipper Cantina when it first opened. Okay, in Adventureland. You'll see what I'm talking about. He goes through all the decorations and the props on the walls and the ceiling outside, the menu.
Maybe he got a job and he just doesn't have the time.
Maybe I don't know.
Possible.
Then do one vlog a month then, instead of a bunch of garbage.
I agree with you.
Okay,
I agree. Quality over quantity.
Go look at Casey Neistat. He goes months without a vlog, and he still has millions of followers. But now it's just like, okay, we're here, we film it, we don't have the steady camera, and all of that.
And there's not a lot of. It's a lot of rambling, I've noticed, and again, I'm not trying to knock them or anything. I've just noticed a change.
I want them to do what they used to do, because I really thought it was cool.
I agree with you. I think it'd be better for them to do 1 or 2 vlogs a month that are the higher quality that people are used to seeing from them, than just all about them just having fun and just throwing something up there. And I think people have come to expect a certain quality from him. And this is my opinion. You guys can disagree, but tell us what you think. And now they're not getting that, and we're thinking that's why their views have gone down.
Their views are down,
than they used to be.
and
their subs have been kind of bordering in the 60s for a while.
The views on the WDW couple are down for a variety of reasons. Among them are some of the ones we mentioned, right? Laziness. 2, ego. People want to see us at the park, and how we're as opposed to get the tips. That's a big part of it. Okay. And another thing that I would say, and this is something a lot of vloggers fall into, They think they've shown it all. There's nothing else to show.
I think a big part of it too.
Do it over again then.
Is when some of these vloggers reach a milestone in their vlogging that they work so hard to get to. And this happens in all areas of life, in your career or whatever. When you get to a certain level that you work so hard to attain, and then you sit back on your laurels and you take it easy and you let things go. And that's, I think, happening a little bit with them, and it happens with other vloggers and even people in other parts of their life. I mean, that do other things in their career. They reach that milestone that they work their ass off to get to, and once they're there, we can relax now. Now we can just take the audience for granted a little bit.
And I'll tell you
happens.
A thing about the Disneyland Paris vlogs. They were not focused.
They were bad.
Like before when
really
they went to the parks, like when they were doing the great cinematography, videography masterpieces that Josh would put together. Every trip had a very specific purpose. Okay, now they're just wandering around looking to film something, and that's in these Disneyland Paris vlogs.
Wasted opportunity.
This is why I think the views are down. Okay, on them also. It was not really watchable because it was bouncing like Blair Witch Project.
So bad.
I thought I had motion sickness.
I couldn't watch it.
Justin Scard.
I mean, I watched like 10 minutes and I'm like, I can't watch it.
Justin Scard has done spectacular vlogs of Disneyland Paris, and he'll go into the ride and show. And I was just amazed that Josh had the camera bouncing all over the place. But it's not just there; it's here in Orlando too. Yeah. And now they're off to Disneyland and Anaheim, and it'll be more of that. I mean, they're pushing too much, as opposed to people following. Okay, when they flew out of Miami to go to France, okay, and they were talking about it. I've not been to Europe, guys. The closest I've been to Europe is at Epcot Center. Okay, Kathy went to college in Europe.
I've been to Europe.
Yeah, Kathy went to
times.
college in Europe. Excuse me, I'm fancy.
I'm fancy.
Fancy. I went to State University here in Florida.
Paris. I went to school in Italy, so I've been around.
But I would be very excited if I were going to Disneyland Paris too. But when I was watching Josh and Taylor talking about it, it reminded me of Michael Kay when he moved to Florida. He thought he was. I remember I said Michael Kay acts like he's Ponce de Leon, that he's the first person to discover Florida, and I felt like Josh and Taylor thought they're the first person to go to Disneyland Paris. I understand being excited, but no one. It's not that big of a deal to anybody else except you. And then going from there to Disney, they're flying from there with a stop into Disneyland. If they were doing a round the world tour and going to every Disney park, people might be like, "Oh, cool." It's not that big. They're making too big of a deal about themselves.
I feel like
they're rushing content.
I feel like the Disneyland vlogs were a wasted opportunity. You're spending a lot of money. It's you're traveling far from home, taking time off work, and I know she has a job. I know what her job is.
Oh yeah,
she's got a very what I was told, a very highly skilled. She's a very highly skilled person in her
big
job.
Career.
I'll tell you that.
Big career woman. Highly educated too.
So she's got a great career. But I don't know what he does, but I feel like the Disneyland Paris is such a beautiful park, and there are so many opportunities. Like they went on the Haunted Mansion ride. That is the best Haunted Mansion out of all the Haunted Mansions.
On the planet.
The one in Paris. It is the best one ever.
And it was an afterthought.
You have to get a 4K video of that ride.
Watch Justin Scard's vlogs.
And they didn't. They showed a few clips, and talked about it very, very briefly. So I was very disappointed in that. I was like, they should have shown the whole ride. It's an incredible ride, and really shown the people. And to me, that's just. It feels like he does not want to be bothered putting the time. Maybe he can't. Maybe he's working full time.
Do one vlog a month or every 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks.
One video a month. So
okay. Yeah, and I just one little bit.
We don't want to beat a dead horse.
One more bit of constructive criticism for the WDW couple. Well, maybe it'll be two, but they'll relate to the same thing. Okay. No more bar crawls or pub crawls. And I love Pagey Mr. Morrow. I love Pagey Mr. Morrow. He's awesome. Promise Hope.
Maybe people like
I like Promise Hope too, but I really don't enjoy seeing Promise Hope Paging Mr. Morrow and the WDW couple taking the gondola around, getting drunk, or taking the monorail around the resorts and getting drunk. I don't care for that.
Maybe
that's
some
myself.
people do.
Yeah.
I find it personally boring. That's just me.
To me, that seems like a lazy way to vlog.
I'll give you a little gossip on the WDW couple before we leave.
Do I know it?
This, yeah. We know somebody who knew them very, very well. I don't think she knows them, hangs out with them anymore.
Oh,
but
yes,
she told me, I'm not going to say who, that when they used to do their food vlogs, and they used to do a lot, like 3 a week, that was their thing, was the food vlogs. And they would go to very fancy restaurants around the parks. She told me that there was somebody with them that paid for those meals.
Oh, I don't know.
That loved their food vlogs and basically paid for those dinners as long as they would record it. And they would go to that's what she said. And they would go to have dinner with them.
Oh, okay.
But they were never in the vlog, but they were such huge fans of theirs.
That's the kind of fans we need, Kathy.
And she said this person did that with a lot of people, with a lot of vloggers.
Oh.
When there were a lot of food vlogs out, this person was rich, loved food vlogs, and would go with their favorite vloggers and pay for the meal so they would record it and make a vlog out of it.
Okay.
That's what she told me. This is a very reliable source. Another vlogger, extremely reliable.
Yeah, a well-known vlogger, too. I don't want to say
so.
who.
No. So that's just a little tidbit of information. But, hey, if they don't mind getting less views, if they are too busy doing other things, if they're burned out on it, and it just feels like they don't care as much. And like I said, they set the bar so high. I mean, you could tell when their earlier videos, Josh poured his heart and soul into those videos. And that's what built their brand. And now it looks like he just doesn't give a crap anymore. Okay, I'm just going to talk about cheese for 10 minutes and you watch me eat and I'm going to go, oh, look at this. And it just seems a little, like you said, a little lazy. But hey, they have their right to be that way. That's just our observation from watching that.
Yeah. Well, that's all we have for today that we're going to share.
Tell us what you think about them.
There are some other things. We'll save them for the next episode.
Yeah, we could just go on and on and on about the vloggers.
We follow all the vloggers. I mean, we're like the TMZ of Disney vloggers.
We were going to talk about what's going on with Best Life and Beyond.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one.
We want to get into that before we go. Best Life and Beyond.
Yeah, apparently, why not? I thought they were going to talk about something else.
What?
I forgot about them.
Best Life and Beyond. Apparently, we mentioned it on the last show, had a falling out with Adam the Woo. And we think it had to do with his apartment. That's what's been alluded to online and in videos. It had to do with his apartment in Anaheim. They were subletting it and they walked away. And left this is what's been
there has been an allegation against Best Life and Beyond
that they left him high and dry with his apartment. This is what has been alluded to online, and they've had a major rift. So now Best Life and Beyond is dealing with some serious negative publicity on YouTube. Tell us what you guys think. I don't want to get too into it because the show is getting long. Tell us what you guys think about Best Life and Beyond, about Katie and Spencer. I personally like them. Katie can be a little much, but that's her personality.
Well, okay, since you brought it up, okay. Best Life and Beyond.
I like Spencer and Katie. I feel bad that they're being trolled so hard.
I don't mind their vlogs, but there's a couple things.
But they definitely had a falling out.
There's a couple things that have recently come out about them. One in particular that really burns me a little bit.
This is true,
and this is a bad one. I'm a morning person. Because of my job. I have to get up very early in the morning. Yeah. So I don't spend too much time at the parks at night. And Katie and Spencer like to go to Disneyland right before closing. And I did do one vlog.
You did that once.
A few years ago where I stayed on Main Street after closing. And I stayed there for quite a while after closing, but when the people started leaving, I did leave before they, when Disney World closes, they leave Main Street open for about an hour so you can go shopping. And I was there in the park and I waited, and there were not that many people on Main Street, but there were still people in the park. I did not leave the stores and stuff were still open when I was leaving. I didn't stay that late. But anyway, Katie and Spencer from Best Life and Beyond, it seems they like to go to Disneyland sometimes 5 minutes before closing because, the rule at Disney.
And not only that, they like to stay like for 2 hours after the park has closed. This is the problem. This is what they're being harassed. I want to maybe harassed. Being exposed. Which we did not know. That they go to the park like 10 minutes, like you said before. And then
let me explain how it works. Let me explain how it works.
Hours.
The rule at Disney is if you're in line and the park closes, you still get to ride the ride. And they like to go 5 or 10 minutes before the park closes and get in line and go on rides. Yeah. And they even did it once that I've seen. It looked like at a restaurant. They went like right before they closed and they got the table because they were still open and they, that's the rules. And it's very inconsiderate. And I'll tell you why it's inconsiderate. Because when you do that, the employees cannot go home. Now, I will say, because if you go on our channel, there was a vlog that I did stay at Disney World's Magic Kingdom after the park was closed. But I did not have to get removed by security like Best Life and Beyond were escorted out by security from Pirates of the Caribbean because they were there well after. Didn't do anything like that. When I saw that the final few people started to go, I went with them. I didn't stay. I didn't want to be on the last monorail or the last bus. It's inconsiderate and rude to other people, and I don't think they're very self-aware of others.
And they even say, and this has been pointed out by these other channels that are exposing this.
Yeah.
And it's not putting them in a good light. And that's the intent, which I don't necessarily think that's a nice thing. I think it's bullyish. But they did one where they walked on Pirates. I think, did you talk about this? So they walked on Pirates, and it was like the cast members were
seconds
there.
Before closing.
Literally.
They locked the door behind them to get in.
They locked the door behind them. The park had already closed. And then the girl is like, we'll see you in 15 minutes. Like, they had to wait around now another 15 minutes.
Everybody that works on the ride.
Probably 1 o'clock in the morning. So I did put a poll up on the channel about staying late at the park and how people feel about it. Me personally, you were there one time late, and you said it took almost an hour for the park to clear out.
It does.
After it closed.
Hour to 90 minutes.
So if the park closes, say, at 10, okay, I think you should be out of there by 11. I think an hour is sufficient to shop and do whatever you got to do. But if you're there till 12, 1 o'clock, you're starting to get a little inconsiderate of the people that are working there. But I think the problem Katie and Spencer are having is, we're just talking about everybody here, is they're too comfortable. They feel I get the feeling Katie, they go to the park so much, she feels she owns Disneyland. They're so comfortable there that they feel that the cast members like them so much that they don't mind staying till 3 o'clock in the morning to make them happy. That's not true. They want to go home. They're tired. They've been on their feet all day. They're hot.
I'll give you an example. Like when
they don't want to stay to give you cupcakes.
When they got on Pirates at closing, they shut the entrance door and locked it behind them. The cast members that work on Pirates of the Caribbean cannot begin the process, whatever that entails, of closing down the ride for the night while they're a guest on the ride.
Right.
And it's just, when I stayed late the one time, I didn't ride anything. I just hung out on Main Street. I wouldn't want to do that. And you guys, you know how tired you get when you're at Disney? Can you imagine what it's like for the employees?
On their feet all day.
Oh my God. They can't go take a break we can anytime we feel like it. They're exhausted. And a lot of them got to open in the morning the next day. They have slave hours.
I feel it's a little inconsiderate.
It's very inconsiderate.
I like Spencer and Katie, but I feel going to the park right when they're closing, 5 or 10 minutes before.
Which they do, and they put it on the vlog.
They vlog it, they're open about it. And then intentionally doing that, I think is kind of a crappy thing to do.
It is.
I'm sorry.
It's selfish.
I didn't realize they were doing it, and that's what these channels are obviously exposing. But I do like Katie and Spencer. I think they do really good vlogs. I will continue to watch them.
Well, maybe they'll be a little less childish.
This is just a show full of what we like to call constructive criticism.
And there's
take
more.
It or leave it. You know what I mean? You can agree with us or not, but this is just how we see it. But we always like to hear your opinion. And it's amazing how many comments we get. Our last podcast has had a lot of views. It's did very well, and we're so excited about that. And some of our shows get hundreds of comments, and then you guys talk to each other. Sometimes you fight about things, and I think that's great. I think it's great when you guys talk. We want to have it where this is a place where people can discuss things about Disney.
Yeah, so let me throw a few questions out.
We posted a few questions today.
Okay, so we're going to end the show now, but I want to throw out a few questions
we'll do
about the show.
Refresher here.
I want to hear your thoughts on Molly going out on her own. I hope she becomes a YouTube millionaire from it.
And
I think she's very good.
And that crappy name of their channel.
Well, I wouldn't even ask that question because it's obvious. Yes, they should change the name of the channel.
Horrible.
So your thoughts on Molly going out on her own?
Yeah.
Should she drop her husband from the vlogs?
Yeah, your thoughts on that?
That's another one. Not in real life, like in their marriage.
No, just on the show.
Just on the vlogging.
Yeah.
Should she drop her husband on the vlog?
Not in their marriage.
Yeah, and please tell him not to eat on camera. Also, what are your thoughts on the WDW couple now versus 3-4 years ago? Okay.
Yeah.
And also finally, your thoughts on staying in the park after park closing and also arriving 5 or 10 minutes before closing and going into the park.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they've been at the park all day and they decided they're going to hang around a little bit to get into the
No, they go to the park just
They literally go to the park 5 minutes before it's closing.
It's crazy.
And go in and hang out for 2 or 3 hours.
Inconsiderate.
I think that's rude. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
A little inconsiderate. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for listening to the show. We went a little long this time, but we really, really had fun. We appreciate all of you and your comments, and we'll see you soon.